Tony Hawk's Underground, quite possibly the best Tony Hawk game ever created. What do you think? Let me know your favorite Tony Hawk game down in the comments.
Oh yeah?
In this video, I'm diving into why Tony Hawk's Underground should make a triumphant return, or at least inspire a new Tony Hawk game with a similar vibe of the Underground series. While we've seen remakes and remasters of the classic Tony Hawk titles like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and the newer Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, that game was just, it wasn't good. The absence of Underground leaves a void in the skating game genre. Despite the numerous Tony Hawk games, it baffles me why Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, which was the latest installment of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, not counting the remake, took a step backwards instead of revisiting the Underground magic. Underground allowed players to create their own skater and embark on a journey to skateboarding stardom. You can literally get off and on your board. It's so cool. The realism was unmatched, for video gaming, for the ridiculousness of what Tony Hawk Pro Skater games can and are. You would bail, your board would break sometimes with a little animation, and gradual wear and tear on your skateboard as you grinded and slid across ledges and rails would show, and your skateboard paint would be off the board. Reflecting on the current video game market and how games have been releasing and what games have been releasing, it's evident that the unique charm of Tony Hawk Underground is sorely missed. The ability to shape your own skating destiny and witness the physical toll on your equipment made this a standout title in the series. And as I ponder the possibility of another game capturing the essence of Underground, can't help but question if the golden days reminiscent of the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube era are long gone. The musical soundtrack on Tony Hawk's Underground, the music soundtrack in all the Tony Hawk games is what really shaped my musical taste, and I'm sure it shaped a lot of people's musical taste, especially if you skateboarded, or even if you didn't skateboard and you just played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Like, the soundtrack is just banger after banger with a mix of genre from punk, rock, hip hop. It's just a smorgasbord of things that are gonna hype you up to get out and go skate. Tony Hawk's Underground came out in 2003. It was the 5th title in the Tony Hawk gaming series, and it was published by Activision. So you know how Activision is with their main titles and their releases, like Call of Duty. Call of Duty has came out year after year, and a lot of people have franchise fatigue, and just I feel like those games have just really gone under as far as quality control goes. And it was the same thing kind of happened with the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game, even though they tried to come out a couple years after. It was just, I don't know what it was. Maybe kids aren't into skateboarding anymore. It does seem to be more of a dying niche in today's world, and a lot less skate or die. Did you skateboard back in the day, or do you still skateboard now? Man, I'm glad that we can go back and play old video games, because if you couldn't play old video games, there would just be so much lost art out there. Besides having an open world feel to Tony Hawk's Underground, it still kept the classic map editor, so you can edit your own skate maps or play other people's skate maps, or just the custom skate matches that were added and pre-made into the editor. If you didn't feel like skateboarding anymore but you wanted to watch skate videos, Tony Hawk's Underground had skate videos for you to tune in and watch as well, though that is a staple of the Tony Hawk games in general.
Back to scratch. Music.